Hi, good afternoon or morning for everybody coming to watch this little webinar on Enterprise connected with SAP Business One. My name is Cal Beauchesne. I'm a consultant by heart and also help customers strategize how to best, bring new solutions to their system. So Enterprise is basically an add-on that connects on the web with the web platform and also mobile apps to SAP Business One with limited functionalities. But it does encompass a lot of different modules and can help enterprise connect users that would not necessarily do specific transactions that on a day-to-day basis, but they might need some limited functionalities. And buying a full license is not sometimes worth the price for small, medium enterprises. They would like to, get these features, but outside a normal license. So I'm going to go through the whole overall product, but as you can see right away on my top window, the menu, you can see that I can deal with all the business partners, the sales side, service, deliveries, expense, finance, even some procurement, some stock, some omni-channel, and mapping. So I'm going to go through each of them very, very quickly. High level, if you have any questions, you might want to wait maybe later. I'll open up more questions for people if you want to ask some questions later. Or you can write them and then we'll prepare from the chat. We'll start answering questions as we go along on different areas of the system.
Oh, sounds good.
So as a user comes in, they can have a 360 view of the activities that they do, okay? But what I mean by activities, it's not necessarily just an activity in SAP. It can also mean any service call, leads, quotes, depending on their access into the system. So if I'm a sales guy, I need to go and check into my leads. I'm going to have a few KPIs. I can have a list of opportunities, and I can, create new sales opportunities right off a select button. I can look up my customers. It's very, very easily, it's intuitive, it's web-based, and then I can start writing opportunity for New Year 2019, going in and out, and then, I just fill out all the information, which would be the minimal information I would require to do a sales opportunity in SAP. The advantage that you get is you get a full view over here of all your leads, and then you can turn them into quotes. You can see what's inside all your different quotes that are in the system. You can see your quotes. You can see everybody's quote, depending on your security. Again, a manager would be able to see all their employees by just basically selecting different users. Right now, I'm the only user in this database, but if I was a manager, I could see Carl and Tracy, for example, okay? Same thing for orders. So again, I'm working on my transaction tab versus enabling the system to work on all transaction tabs. So somebody, different levels of authority in the system, I can manage my company, or as a maybe as a salesperson, I can actually see my own things, depending on the user. So I'm just going to go over each of the different modules to really touch base on some of the high-level capabilities. Again, it brings you a different view that you would not normally have in SAP Business One. So if you're looking at a customer or a supplier, or you're even trying to look at some of your colleagues, you can have a list of your customers and or just your leads. You can have a little map. Where is that customer located? What's open specifically? So you get an instant view of, oh, I've got 5 deliveries for that company. Okay, why didn't I confirm them? They're from last year. So, okay. So it really gives you a 360-degree view of what's happening by customer, okay? Same thing for your suppliers. You know what's happening for each of them by selecting them. You can even have a list of favorites. so that you can easily just, you know what, I want to see my favorites. These are the accounts I want to look at first. Okay, and from here you can even dive in and get more details. You can open up and create customers. You can launch quotes and do new sales quotes for that customer also. On the sales side, you get a full kind of CRM view. So if you would like to connect your salespeople, they would be able to see the different opportunity phases and the way that you structure your company's sales process. And within each, you would see each opportunity located. Salesperson moving through his pipeline could easily say, okay, I just talked to Canadian Tire, and now we had a second meeting, so I want you to transfer this opportunity here. Second meeting for last month, and you just write some notes. You can even transfer it to someone else. What date do I expect to close it? I'll push it back to the 27th. Some notes. So it gets transferred. By the way, you'll see some messages because it's a demo system. It doesn't transfer all the information to a live SAP Business One, but you will see all the functionalities are there and enabled. So I'm able to move things around, enter new activities. If I want to assign and take some actions, let me just type an action here. I can say this is a meeting, okay, and I can connect it to Outlook. I can have a task, some notes, even note a phone call and reminders. I can transfer some of these activities actually to people that are in SAP. People in SAP can send me tasks also for me to do. So in terms of CRM, it really gives you a nice overview with the opportunity stages. And then I can work each individual opportunity with filters. Again, I can filter by users if I want to restrict the list. And then the same thing applies actually for the quotes. I can take a quote. I can create a new sales quote. So for salespeople on the road who need minimal type of functionalities, Enterprise is a good fit. It doesn't allow you to actually attach documents. It doesn't attach with Outlook directly for emails, but it'll email a form to your customer. Okay, it has its own emailer using their web emailer, and you have some custom forms that are coming out from Enterprise. Someone wanting to create, we can add new lines, we can add notes, we can create nice little sales quotes, and within the sales quotes, we can get quantities from the warehouse, we can validate, we can put project code, for example, images, everything that would be typical from your SAP you have over here. Although we don't have all the advanced features of promising quantities for future dates, or some of the like attachments and things like that, it's not there. I don't know if it's in the future. You can have your own custom fields that you can connect
But
to.
Carl, just a sec. But
Yeah.
if you're making a quote, because I did see this once before, but if you are making a quote in this for an employee that's, let's say, making a quote, it's seamless and it transfers right into SAP. It's live, right?
Yes, it actually doesn't necessarily transfer. It's actually in SAP.
Okay.
This is SAP, but web interface by Enterprise.
Okay.
So they created an interface, and it doesn't write in a different database. It writes in the SAP database directly.
Okay.
So the minute you click save, someone going through the quotes in SAP would see your quote right away. Okay.
So the only thing
It
that it
just
blocks it off, though, is like, let's say you're making a quote. If you have special like user-defined fields or something like that, those
but you
won't
can
be
still
there,
have
though.
them over here. No, you can still have them over here.
Okay. Okay. Good.
But there are some limitation. People have to, if you have an interest, you need to actually, come with us. We demo it with you. We play with you around, because it's using the indirect access user, which is a cheaper license. But doing this, SAP has pre-built limitations. So they're using the pre-built limitation. They can't override the SAP limitation.
Mm.
So some companies will find this very useful. Some other companies will say, I need more.
Okay,
And
and
we need to
when
define the more. It's just, it does the simple sales quote, sales order, transfer, deliveries that someone might expect if they have light transactional
okay,
sales.
that's good. And when you talk about indirect users, you would need an indirect user for each person that has an enterprise license, correct?
No,
No, it's
just
just
one.
one.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Okay. So playing around with the quote, you can see that you can have the same as relationship map, activities. You can download the PDF to view the actual the preview, but also you can convert it to an order. You can take your quote and just say, okay, convert this as an order, and then you can save the information, send it by email to your to the contact of the business partner, and it just moves the transaction along. And same thing can happen to a sales order. You can take a sales order and create a sales delivery. Okay, so you can really keep the same type of flow uh, into your system by using Enterprise. They even just recently added some features for recurring transactions, so you can create and follow recurring transactions, and you can see these recurring sales. So it's something quite new that they put into. So they constantly every month they keep adding little features here and there to really add value to the people using Enterprise. In the delivery side, I'm going to skip service. I'll come back to service. So in the delivery side, a lot of people are interested in this because SAP doesn't have a delivery option. By itself, you deliver, but that's it. Enterprise, you can have deliveries and you can plan your deliveries. You can have trucks, and then you can say, okay, you're going to take this delivery and you're going to go deliver it on that day, that time, and you can make a specific route. And when the employee goes into his phone or iPad, Android, tablet, whatnot, they will see a route for them to take on a specific day and where they have to go and deliver. And the functionality will be enable them to confirm delivery and have a signature from the customer sign in that the delivery was done. Okay. So that is basically transferring it. After that, it would transfer to a sales invoice. Okay. And I know they've added a payment functionality. I'm curious. I haven't tested it yet. I think you might even be able now to take payments against a delivery and say, while I delivered, the customer paid me that much money, and then you kind of transfer it to a sales invoice. Or I think you transfer it to a sales invoice and you take money and you confirm payment of the delivery, and the customer receives his invoice with payment confirmation all at the same time. So it's quite a nice little feature for people who have their own transportation and they need to follow where their trucks are going and plan their trucks without buying a big add-on. This is very light, but again, it serves a purpose for people who would have, for example, 4 or 5 delivery trucks, and they like to plan things and stop using Excel as an excuse for building up big sheets and
Right, but the delivery
matrix.
call is really for someone that has their own delivery system and not someone who deals with external delivery systems, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you have your own trucks or you rent trucks and you have people delivering. That's you're planning them. Yeah, you can't plan UPS here, although that'd be nice, but no. Going back now to services, you get something a little similar than deliveries, where you can actually have a scheduler and you can schedule appointments and put them on to your different employees. Okay. Let me just see. There's nothing here, but I could easily slide in service calls and put them in and schedule my employee and say, okay, you're supposed to go here, here, here. And then the employee can open his tablet or phone and see the route that he's supposed to take. And as he gets on site, he can take one of the service calls. And from the service call, you can say, okay, this service call, he has all these functionalities for not these actions here, but you can enter all the information on this is what I did, this is what happened, the troubleshooting, the resolution, can put notes, things like that. Then we can use this again to invoice the service call of the customer depending on their contract. There's also a nice view of KPIs that are enabled in the system here. So as you can see, it takes us 4 days and 5 hours to close the calls once they're open. We have 5 unassigned service calls. So you have some KPIs you might want to go in and say, okay, let me assign this one to this person and things like that. So service calls, you can create new ones, unassign. You can assign them basically and see a list of activities that you need to do and build a scheduler for things like that. You can even have build recurring service calls. There's a small expense tab. It brings in the expense side. Some people they're looking for an expense. I mean, if you're only using it for expense, it might be a little pricey compared to other options there. But the thing is, it's linked into SAP. You can do a purchase invoice draft, okay, if you want to buy something and you want your company to pay it, or you can do expenses and put your mileage and all your receipts into the system using either the web or your mobile application. So that's one of the features that is part of Enterprise over here. It's pretty neat. It's simple, not too complex. It saves companies that are actually going from using Excel into using something that's more traceable, and you can put some approvals and things like that. The finance side is pretty new. They keep adding new features. They did not have half of these things 6 months ago. They keep putting things in. So you want to see your list of all your accounts. You want to see your P&L, your trial balance, things like that, all your journal entries. They give you a full view. So somebody would need, oh, I want to see my finance, but I don't want to have an SAP login because I don't do transactions. So a C-level manager might be interested in having this type of vision, connection, or if you want your accounting firm to, look into your things or your bank, they need to come and get your profit and loss. That it's one potential. Okay, you can even do some bank transactions, see your reconciliations. Okay, or see your bank account status of your bank account. You can reconcile them using this the Enterprise web browser. Okay. What else they've got here? They've got billing included for you can take sales orders, sales deliveries, and create a sales invoice from these documents. So that would be like some type of AR person connection. And also you can see all your age for your accounts receivable, accounts payable. Again, that seems to be European English accounting lingo that they have over here, but you would have your accounts payable, your creditors, or your accounts receivable here for your debtors. Okay. Another part of the features are the sell side, where you can see all their invoices, the payments, things like that. You can even create a new incoming payment. And you can say, okay, this customer, this is the invoices, or these are the invoices that they want to pay, the amount that they're transferring from their account, blah, 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 or how much they're paying. And we can even take payments into Enterprise. And Enterprise is actually looking now to have some type of integration with your bank and maybe even credit cards. So you would have a fully automated solution and not have to actually redo the transaction yourself. By Enterprise, you could pay your payables and you can receive quick card payments from your customers also directly.
Yeah, and I think with that, Carl, we spoke about that the other day. I think currently they're in test mode for that, and they were looking for potential customers who wanted to try it
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So if
yeah.
anybody, is interested
Yeah, yeah,
in trying it out.
yeah. Don't want to. Okay, so one of the nice thing that some of the people are interested is that they have people doing the purchasing in house, doing purchase orders, but internally they have some project managers or that need to do some purchase requests for their projects, and they don't want to buy a license, so they're like, can we do a purchase request with approvals somewhere without buying a license? And the answer is yes. You can actually open for 14.95. Enterprise gives you a full procurement module. Okay, it has some of limited functionalities, but again, if you're looking for purchase requests, you can easily say, okay, let me do a new purchase request, and that purchase request, I can say, okay, this is what I want to order, this, and it would be sent for approval to my manager, for example, who would be the person approving. If it's higher than a certain amount, can go to someone else, things like that. Once it's approved, then the purchaser can receive a notification and saying, hey, you've got 1, 2, 3, 5 purchase requests that have been approved. You need to take action. And then that person can take those requests and turn them into purchase quotations or purchase orders, and they can take action instead of the usual Excel email to the manager, doesn't see it right away, approves it, forwards the email to someone else. There's no traceability. It's very dysfunctional and not effective. Now with a system like this, we can very, very easily see the status of the request that we've done. Is it approved? Has it been sent to is there a PO attached to it? And then the PO, has it been ordered? Did we receive it? Then you'll know, oh yeah, okay, we received the stock. And you can even have some of the purchase deliveries and confirm the deliveries of the system and enter the accounts payable invoices. Okay. So it has a full light module on procurement, very useful if you have needs for purchase requests, or if you're looking to, matching your purchase orders and deliveries with the purchase invoice. The stock module is actually a stock review type of window. It gives you access. Oh, I hope it's going to give me the full access here. It actually gives you a list of KPIs, and you can see each warehouse, price list, things like that of your stock, but it's in a web browser. So again, if you have somebody that you want them to have some limited access to that information only, then buying a license makes more sense for you to buy this type of license than buying an SAP Business One full license. It's limited in functions, and I'm having some troubles with the data coming in, but definitely it's a quick overview like we saw before, showing us some KPIs like this, status, the stock, the inventory turnover, things like that. The
Carl,
omni-channel,
you do have. Are you going to be able to give us some prices afterwards as well?
yes, it's $14.95 for a user,
That's
no
per
matter
month.
what he accesses per month.
Per month, and he has access to everything, so it's not a modular thing. For
No,
14, for the
it's for the
price
full
per month, he's
platform.
got everything. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, it's so you decide what he has access to. That's it. The omni-channel is nice for people who do retail, because this is where you would connect Shopify, Amazon, eBay, things like that, and you can kind of have like a window into and connect Enterprise to them, so that some of the information can be transferred. You can get data from them to appear here into Enterprise. Okay. If I when I refresh, you'll see Shopify. You'll see like, oh, you've got like that many orders coming in from Shopify, from Amazon, and things like that. And it shows you evidently those omni-channels need to be connected to SAP Business One, but Enterprise gives you a window into what's coming in and what's happening in between these. So you can have somebody independent from Business One manage these in Enterprise instead of having to log into Business One. The map is just basically a map of your active users. If you want, you can trace where people are. Like I believe it gives you, yeah, the locations of your users. So if you have people on mobile, you can probably trace your technicians and where they're going, the salespeople also. So it's available in multiple languages. Fairly easy to set up and put in place. You just put some new users. You give them some specific access. You can even build some themes and the modules, and then you decide some of the modules how you want to go. You can even some of the custom fields that are from SAP. You can recreate them here in terms of you just name the field the same thing and you associate it with the field from SAP, and the system is going to recognize and fill out that field in SAP when you're doing a transaction. Okay. So that's about a full overview of what Enterprise can do for you and all the different features that are part of it. Evidently, people think that it does a lot of things, but it has certain limitations. My recommendation is if you have an interest, the demo system that they have to their demo can give you some good tests, and we can guide you into defining these specific users. And so you're welcome to contact us to deep dive into the product a little bit more. So Tracy, I'll send it back to you.
All right. Well, it's good. Does any questions? Maurice, if you have any, just you can just send me in the chat box. And if no questions, I just want to remind this is the last webinar of 2018. So our next one's going to be in January 11th after the holidays. So we're going to be reviewing the maintenance plans because there's been a few modifications. And then again, like we do every year, just the basic ticket portal for those that still aren't using it for the support desk. So, and then we have some nice topics afterwards. So if anybody wants a copy, just send me an email, and happy holidays. So thanks, Carl. Thanks for everything.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.